It's now time to introduce Matt. He's doing a speech called The Book of Life. The Book of Life, Matt Fox.
Do you have one of these? This is mine. It's quite big, isn't it? Old, worn out, tattered, rather like myself, I suppose. And it appears to be half full, or should I say, only half read. This is my book of life. What does yours look like? You don't actually have to have one, of course, and maybe it's more metaphorical than physical. But your book of life contains your experiences, your memories, the good times and the bad, the laughter and the tears. And I hope you have many more pages left to fill. Our lives can be so fugacious. As I open the first few pages of my book, I see my childhood, born third of four, in England. Nothing out of the ordinary there. But then the pages start to fill with colour, as my father gets a job in the University of the South Pacific. A period of 8 years are written. No TV, no need for TV. I was on a tropical island, barefoot and loving it. What magical experiences they were. But what's this? Dark pages in my book. Oh yeah. That was the passing of my mother when I was only 5 years old. Those dark times are hard to rise from, but they are pages from within my book. We move back to England when I'm 11, and I start to play sport. Cricket, rugby, football, basketball, of course, basketball. Making friends and adding moments of colour to my book. But there they are again, those dark pages. You see, I had a South Pacific accent, and the bullies began to circle like vultures around their prey. Always the good times blended with the bad. As I continue to skim through the pages, some wonderful memories pop out. I travel to Canada, of course. I meet a beautiful woman. Her name is Marilyn. Now I'm looking down the aisle at her as we share our special day. The birth of my children, Caitlin and Felicity, they sparkle amongst the pages. I see my father's 80th birthday celebrations last year. Family holidays, living and working in the Middle East, music recitals, graduations. My pages are vibrant and full. Do I notice the scattering of darkness amongst them? I did. My father's serious cycling accident, my daughter's knee injury when she was only 17 years old, stress at work, stress at home. But it's those moments of colour, those sparks of magic. They stand out for me like a beacon. Have I got you thinking? Do you remember your own childhood? I should hope so. But what stands out for you? What is making you smile right now? It is a person, a place, an event. Maybe it's a group of people like Toastmasters. When we stop and think, concentrate on a particular moment in time, we can find that memory, that moment of colour in our own lives. Did something just tug at your heart? Maybe it was a joyous occasion, possibly a sad one. It would be good if we could avoid those dark times. But life has balance, and that simply is that. And that leads us to today. Me reading a speech at Toastmasters. But the rest of the pages are blank. They're a mystery. They're the unknown, the future. Can I shape them? Or are they predefined? Can I avoid those dark pages? Or do they actually make me stronger? What do you think? There's a saying I like. It's by Reinhold Niebuhr. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And to me, that's key. Those blank pages, they're not written yet. And it's up to me, it's up to us to add the colour. So what am I saying? We are the sum of our experiences, our memories, the good times and the bad. And yes, there are some dark pages in there. And yes, sometimes we can't define what's going to happen to us. But we have choices. We have choices on how to fill those blank pages. Will you join me? Pick up your pen, start writing, and add moments of colour to your own book of life. Mr. Tesson.
I've heard before that people can speak very passionately, and then there are engineers. And I heard that engineers sometimes use that phrase about glass being half full, but then they say it's just wrong size glass. Mr. Timer, can you give us 1 minute, please? If you can give some written comments to Matt, please. I'm sure he'll appreciate your feedback.